Hey guys, this is Diana Ballard, and welcome to the Mom Training Podcast, where we discuss the skills and strategies to create possibilities in motherhood and make it more fun, efficient, organized, and peaceful. You can find more information or connect with me online at dianaballard.com or at Diana Ballard Live on social media. Ladies, welcome to another episode of the Mom Training Podcast. I am so happy you're here. You guys are such awesome mamas, and glad to be hanging out with you again today. So if you listened to last week's episode, I shared about my birth story and a couple things that I learned from it. I want to share a main lesson that I learned from this birth. I feel like it was literally like this birth happened just to teach me this lesson. Like it happened this way because I needed to learn this. So with this birth, it came so stinking fast. After I had literally the second he came out, I was like, I can't believe it was that fast. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's over. What happened? Like 5 minutes ago, I was fine. Like literally 5 minutes. Like that's how long it took. Like it was like, I don't even know. Like what happened? Like I was seriously like, this happened so freaking fast. When I was writing about it, like maybe 24 hours later or something, I was alone in the hospital room, and baby was sleeping and I was chilling, and I was writing about like the experience and, what happened and everything. And the biggest thing that stood out to me was we never know when something that we've been working on completely clicks or explodes in a good way. There are so many things that we work on in our lives. We're working on our health, we're working on, relationships, making money, working on businesses, just we have goals that we've set, right? And sometimes we work on those things over and over, and like it seriously feels like the most mundane. Like, oh my gosh, like, is this ever actually going to happen? Am I ever actually going to break through my health goals and lose all the weight that I want and stay that way and be healthy and feel excellent? Is there going to be a time when all of a sudden, I don't have to struggle with financial things anymore? Or is there going to come a time when I, find that soulmate and it's excellent? Or the person that I'm already married to, is the relationship going to drastically finally change into this harmonious thing, even though we've been working on it for years? I feel like, especially with relationships, we put forth effort, right? And we need to continue to put forth effort every single day for a relationship to become better and to become the relationship that we've always dreamed of, right? Like we always have to be working towards that and changing ourselves and communicating, whatever, right? Or say like a business that you've started. I've tried, I've marketed, I've been, being consistent, I've been doing all these things, and when is it actually going to start making like a good profit for me? When am I going to have the influence that I'm looking for? Or, when am I going to help change this many lives? There's lots of things that take time, learning how to be a good housewife, work with our children, learning their personalities. There's so many things that us as moms and just people in general, work on. So what happens when we keep working on something? Well, something has to happen. Obviously, we have to be doing things that actually are going to bring us the result. But if we do not quit, the result will come. And so with this birth experience that I had been pregnant forever, growing this little baby. I've done all I could to take care of my body and try to give everything I can so this baby's healthy and that I'm healthy, and going through these labor pains and going through everything that it takes to bring a baby in. And then we're like, okay, cool. I can see that the moment's getting closer. I can see that the result, of this goal we're working on is just moments away, for me, oh yeah, you're going to dilate a centimeter an hour, or, oh yeah, well, it's going to take a couple months for me to get to this. And then it'll take, I'll lose a pound a week. Let's keep it simple. if I'm losing a pound a week, then in 4 weeks, I'll be down 4 pounds. In 3 months, I'll be down 12 pounds. I can measure that. So then we start adding in other things. But then what happens if things come all of a sudden? It could be one thing that tips it over the edge that can make it explode. Like this, all it took was a little touch of Pitocin and things changed. The result that, I've been looking for or waiting for, like insta came. So like that was kind of like, not like a warning, but kind of like a heads up. You never know what thing will push what you're wanting to be received over the edge. Like you never really know. Adding one thing into your relationship with your husband, or, changing one thing that you do with him, or changing one thing that you do with your children, or changing one thing you do with your health. And it's always a combination of things. Like, obviously, like, with me, it was, I had labor, I had my water broken, I had the epidural then, I had this, but what pushed it over the edge was just that little touch of Pitocin. You just never know what could take you to an entirely new level. And now you have a baby to take care of. Now that could look like, you have, a brand spanking new sexy body. You have learned, maybe you bought the new house or the new car, or your relationship is harmonious as freak. You're like, oh my gosh, I just can't even believe like how good this is, right? Or, relationship with your kids, or all of a sudden, like you're not struggling with finances anymore. It could be in that moment that, now you have these things, and every good thing takes maintenance. Every good thing that we are trying to receive and to work on takes work to maintain it. So I want you to think right now, what matters to you that you are working on? And what have you been working on that feels like it's been taking forever? So think of that thing, that one thing, the two things, the three things you've been working on. And first off, give yourself a pat on the back and say, good job. I know this is hard. I know it's hard waiting. I know it's hard struggling day to day, but good job. Thanking yourself. Thank you so much for your effort, and that you have this unmistakable determination to just not quit. And I don't know about you, but quitting sometimes feels like it's the easiest option. I mean, maybe you don't struggle with like wanting to quit, but I know that I do. The feeling of wanting to quit is something normal. But what is extraordinary is the people that don't quit. Let's be those moms that create something more in their life. If you're here listening, it might be because you believe that there's something more than what you are currently living. To be more, to enjoy more, to love your family more, to be a better housewife, all that kind of stuff. Let's be the people of hope. Let's be the women that believe in the future. Take what you want to do and finish it. Do it and don't give up. I believe in you guys. I will see you next week on the Mom Training Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning into the Mom Training Podcast. If you liked what you heard, I would so appreciate a rating and review from you on any platform you listen to this on. If you have any questions or podcast ideas, you can message me on my social media at Diana Ballard Live, or shoot me an email on my website. See you next week.